Hello everyone, welcome back to Right Fashion Academy YouTube channel once again. Today is going to be an interesting tutorial and a subscriber's request, so I decided to make this video to show you how you can go about this cape neckline. Okay, the dress on the thumbnail is actually very beautiful, so today you'll be learning the tips and tricks to making an accurate cape neckline. So now, looking at that picture on the thumbnail, you can agree with me that what we have there is not symmetrical, so it means it's an asymmetric neckline. And for any asymmetric neckline, you need your full bodies drafting. As you can see me, I've drafted the full bodies right and left. Okay, left and right, I have everything, as you can see. So right here, this is the basic bodies pattern, and if you don't know how to go about your basic pattern, I have a detailed video on how to make an accurate basic pattern on this channel. So now I have my bust dart intake and I have my waist dart intake. So we are going to draft only the front of this dress. The back is quite very simple. So now we want to start off this tutorial. So to start off this tutorial, if you have been following this channel, you know what to do already. So the first thing we do is to divide the shoulder seams. Okay, so we get the midpoint of the shoulder seams, and you know why. So once I get this, I mark, and then I connect what I have there directly to the bust point. Okay, so this is the shoulder line. In case you want to get confused, this is the chest line, this is the bust point line, the under bust point, and the waist line. So whatever thing we are doing here, that is what we are going to do here before we move into the neckline. So once this is done, next I'm going to do is to take the difference between my bust radius. Okay, the difference between my bust point and under bust, which is my bust radius. I'll take it all around, all around, all around, all around, as you can see. So this is the area at which my bust is going to sit. Okay, so I'm going to repeat what I did here. Exactly what I did here, I will do it right here, right now. Okay, so let me quickly do that. So we'll start into the bust contouring. Okay, we'll be contouring the under bust and we'll be contouring the over bust as well. And now you can see I've done what I did right here over here. So now I would like to work on the right pattern of this dress, because if you look at this dress, you can see the right pattern, okay, actually have a full shoulder. Of course, both of them have a full shoulder, but from what I'm seeing on that particular dress, I will be using a princess dart on the right shoulder line. So for a princess dart on the right shoulder line, it's quite simple. I'll just go into my shoulder tip and take round what I have on the curve. Can you see I have 11 inches? So from here I'll come down. I'll take the midpoint of 11. Midpoint of 11 is 11.5. Here I'll come down by 1 inch, and then I'm going to connect my princess dart line. Okay, so you make sure you place your curve, okay, to suit a beautiful princess dart. So from here I'll come out by 1 inch to accommodate the princess dart when it is being sewn. Okay, now I'm going to reconnect what I have here back. You can see how I'm slanting my ruler to reconnect. That is my princess dart right there. So next will be under bust contouring. So we have a dart of 1.5 right here. That is 0.75, 0.75. Of course, I've added it to the waistline. My waist here is divided by 4 is 9. So this is 9, and I added 1.5 for my dart. Okay, So to contour my under bust dart now, I will take my under bust measurement circumference, divide by 4. This is what I have. Whatever excess I have, I'll be adding 0.25 on the center front, and the remaining of what I have, I'll add it over here. So now I'm going to contour. This is how I go about a perfect contouring. Can you see that? So once that is done, I'll bring it back to what I have on the waistline, like this, and I'm done. Okay, so here goes a princess dart, but here goes an over bust dart. Okay, so because I need an over bust dart on this part, what I'm going to do now, I'll simply come in from here. Okay, I'm creating the neckline. From the tip of the armhole, I'll come in by 3 inches. So once I come in by 3 inches, this is my bust accommodation. I'll follow the bust accommodation. In fact, on this line, I'm going to measure that difference, okay, which is this that continues like this. Can you see that? I took the measurement of my bust radius on it. Okay, I placed my tape here and I took the measurement, and I have to, if my bust has to pass, it's passing on this line. As you can see, that is the area of the bust. So now I don't want my bust to show. I'll come in by 1 inch, or I can come in by 0.5, okay, or 0.75. Let us do 0.75, okay, because I don't want the neckline to be too high. So from here I come up by 0.75, and from the tip of the shoulder here, I'm going to come in by 3 inches. So I'm going to place my tape, my ruler, following what I have here. I will just take it to meet with this and this. Can you see? So that is the neckline. Okay, so I'll be using a dotted line to differentiate it so you don't get confused. So this is my neckline. So my neckline runs from 3 inches to this point. Now from this, on this side, I'll also come in from this point by 3 inches. Okay, what you have here has to be equal with what you have here. So at that point of 3 inches, I'm going to take exactly the shape of what I have on that neckline. So on that neckline, I'll be freehanding it because my curve ruler is not giving me exactly what I want. So from the natural neckline, I'll just want it to pass at 3 inches, okay, or 2.5 inches. So if I have to go like this, so you have to be creative at this point to know exactly what you are looking for. So I'll just freehand it the way it is on the thumbnail. Can you see? So I think I got what I need here now. So I'll just use my ruler now, come in with my curve ruler and make it prominent. Okay, so try and freehand it nicely, because all curve rulers does not give exactly the particular curves you desire. Okay, all right, so we have our neckline right now. So the next thing we want to do now, we want to contour, or before we contour, okay, let us contour first. We are going to contour the over bust. So to contour the over bust, we are contouring on this line. Can you see? This is the line we are contouring from, meeting up what we have right here. So now I'll come in from here to here at 0.5, and from here to here 0.75, sorry, from here to here 0.75. Then I'm going to place my pattern ruler like this to the bust point, and I'll place my pattern ruler like this to the bust point as well. Can you see? So all of this is the dart, upper bust dart, which I'm going to cut out. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do, I'm going over to the under bust contouring. So the same way I contoured here, that's how I'm going to contour there as well. So from here from the center front, I'll come in by my under bust measurement, and what I have left, I'll add 0.25 here and 1 inch here. So I'm going to contour as well. As you can see, I'll flip my ruler like this and contour. Now I'll meet this, will meet this, while this meets this. All right, so that is it now. So we are almost done with this dress. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do will be cutting off these darts. But I want you to note that once we cut off these darts, remember the dart came into the bodies. Okay, so that means we are going to move what we have on this neckline. So this is what I mean. So from this neckline right now, because once this dart is cut off by 1 inch, we have a shortage. Okay, so we are going to take this neckline, we'll be taking it up to this. Okay, it will follow this dart and it will be cut off with it. So I'm going to replace what we are cutting off on this line. So now this is what I'm going to do on the neckline. This is going off. So what we have here is going off together with this dart once it is cut off. Please don't get yourself confused. Okay, because if we are cutting off this we are going to cut off like this. Okay, because of the dart we have right here, the dart we have right here will be cut off together with this. So now I'm going to replace this dart, this 1 inch dart we have here. I'm going to replace it over here. So to do that, so because we have a dart in between here and the dart measures 1.5, what this actually means is that once this part of the bodies is cut right now, if I cut from here, as you can see, and cut off this part of the bodies, this part is going to be fused to this part. What I mean is this, on this line I have here, right on the bodies. Let me pretend closing the dart for you to understand what I mean. So this is going to be fused to this point. So you can see this is exactly what we have. So I'm pretending closing it up. So now you can see the 1.5 dart has to be replaced because it has caused a shortage already. So if I open it up now, you can see the measurement, the crease line I have right here. When I close this dart to this point, okay, so let me just show you what I mean. From here, from this dart line, I'm pretending to kiss it up with this, so you see what happens at that point. So I'm going to kiss it, this dart, pretending closing my bust here. So once that is done, this is what you are going to have. Okay, so I would want to use my dotted line again to show you the shortage that needs to be replaced. Okay, so you should know when to replace and when not to replace your pattern. So now this is the dotted. So you can see from here we close to this point, we have a whole lot of 1.5. Okay, so that 1.5 we are going to replace it right here. The 1.5 we have here will be replaced right here. So I'm doing that by extending my shoulder line. I'm coming out with a shoulder line extension of 1.5 for the dart intake, and I'm going to blend what I have up. Can you see? I'm going to blend it up like this. Okay, so please make sure the part we are replacing is the upper part as well as the dart intake. So you have to position your ruler so you have this part replaced accordingly. Okay, because this is part of the bodies right now. So since it's part of the bodies, is going out with the dart. So now I'm going to replace what I have right here. Place your ruler, if possible, on this line. You can measure from here to here at 1.5 to make sure you get that accurately. You can see that. So you lay this point 1.5 to this point and return back. So that is the replacement of that. So once we are cutting off, this part goes away. Of course you see it when we are going to cut it right now. So now I believe you understand what happened right here. We are done with the contouring, and I want you to note that all these lines are going to go out. All the things we have here is going to be cut off. We did that. Okay, so what we have right here for this dress is only this part and this part. So I would want to draw my cape right now, and once I draw my cape, I would also trace it out. I'm going to trace out my cape. So I'm building my cape right into this dress. So this is the right, people. So it's time for us to map out our cape right now. So I'm going to build this cape right into this dress, and I'm going to trace it out as well. But one thing I want you to note that is the marker I'm using here. I'm supposed to use a different marker to make this cape more clearer for you. But I need you to follow my marking lines. As I'm marking, just look at what I'm doing. So remember that this is our neckline, okay? This is the neckline which we have created. From here to here is our neckline, and it runs into here. So our cape is going to be built on this neckline, running into here as well. So once I get to this, I'm going to come out at an angle of 45 degrees on this line and build the first cape. So I'm going to extend the first cape, and I would like the first cape to flush like this. I will use a broken line to show you how it flushes. So after sewing this dress, the cape will come out and overlay on the armhole. Okay, so what I have right here now is the cape. Okay, what we have right here is the cape. So I'll just use dotted lines. Okay, but please don't be confused because the lines are too much right here. So this is what we have as the cape. If you see it very well, the cape extends outside the armhole, as you can see. Then the next cape, I would have the next cape move in between the this is the angle of 45 degrees. I'm going to make it move on in between it like this on a straight line to the under bust. Okay, so that one really extended more than what we have here. Okay, so on that point now, I'm going to also freehand it. I'm freehanding my cape to get exactly what I want, the way it is on the thumbnail. So once I get to this point, I'll be using this part of my curve ruler to get the cape exactly on the shape it is. Can you see? This is actually looking so beautiful, and I'm so proud of this cape. So this is our cape, and this is our cape as well. So I'm going to trace out what I have right here with my tracing wheel. I'll bring out the cape to show you what it looks like. All right, lovely people, so now you can see I've cut out the cape. I've traced out the cape. Okay, so this is our cape 1, and this is our cape 2. So if you notice, you can see I use my tracing wheel and my pattern paper I placed below and trace out all these lines and cut out the cape. Okay, so that is exactly what you are going to do. So now I'm going to set this cape aside. Okay, it's also good you note the upper part of the cape. I'm writing up. This cape is going to be sewn and turned with lining. Okay, you are going to sew all of this, leaving this part open and this part open to be stitched on the neckline. You also sew from here to here, leaving the neckline open and the seam line. We are going to use our lining to turn it. So now I'll take off what I have of my cape right now, so we'll be able to cut out the bodies of this dress. So for the bodies of this dress is simple. We've contoured every contourable. So all we are going to do now is follow the exact line. I'll be cutting this on camera because there are so many lines here that might seem confusing. So I cut off the shoulder seam line at that point. Remember, this is the cape line. This is the armhole line where you are supposed to cut from. Can you see? I'm cutting from there into my bust, that accommodation, to my waistline. Okay, so I'm going to take my time on camera to cut this for you to see how it's going to be cut accurately. So I just cut off the waistline and I'm cutting off the size of this dress. Can you see? So now this is the princess dart line. I will now go into the princess dart line. Follow the princess dart. As you can see, I will cut off this completely, set it aside, or close the bust dart at once before I set it aside. So for the bust dart, you see where I open, I'm going to apply my adhesive, and then I'll close my bust dart. Can you see that? So I'm going to set this aside as the princess dart, okay, and I'll be calling this my F1, okay. All right, I'll keep F1 aside. Next, I'll follow the armhole line. After the princess dart, I'm going to cut into the shoulder seam line. This time I'm going into the neckline we are using. This is the neckline where the cape is going to be sewn. Once I get to this dart, remember what I told you, that this dart is going off, okay. So this dart is going off like this. Can you see that? So I'll also cut off what I have on this dart as well, as you can see, okay. This dart I don't need it. So I'll be naming the next pattern my F2. Can you see that? I'll set it aside. I'll continue with my cutting. You can see that this is going off completely, not part of our bodies. So I'll start right from the waistline. Please don't be confused of the too many lines. You can use different pen or pencil to differentiate this, okay. So this is the under bust contouring. You can see me cut it out, and I'm going right into the upper bust. This is the dart. You can see it moving away into the neckline. So assuming we did not replace this dart right now, we could have just here as the neckline, and that would be a shortage. So right here we have a full neckline. So I'm taking away everything I have right here, as you can see, okay. So I'll be closing the under the bust dart for this, and I'll be naming this pattern F3. That is front number 3, okay. So I'll close it up, as you can see. Can you see that? And we are done with this beautiful cape dress. So this is the bust point matching up with bust point. So once you add your seam allowances, you are going to sew. Can you see how it's going to be sewn? This is going to match up with what we have right here. That is how the neckline is going to be, okay. All right, so now this is it, and we have this right here as well, okay. So you can see this is the original armhole line, but we took away 1.5, which is extended. So now we come in finally with the, can you see? So if you notice, you can see that the cape also is falling in place, okay. So the cape is also falling exactly at the same point. So this is the cape, and it matches up exactly. So by the time you sew in this is going to close up this too, for the cape to relax accordingly. And while we have this other cape coming, so after you have sewn the sleeve, you come in with, or after you must have sewn this, you'll be raising this up to sew your sleeve, okay. All right, so that is how we come to the end of this tutorial. I believe you learned a lot from this cape tutorial. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this each week. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comments on the comment section below, and your suggestions as well. We also have our ongoing classes on Telegram. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below. So if you are interested to join that class, please click on the link to that group. So thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.